So, like in penetration testing, we have different kind of penetration, like web VAPT, then network VAPT, infrastructure VAPT. So for web VAPT, we'll see some about web application security. Okay, so like for penetrating in website, what the security measures we have to look for. Okay, and what are the vulnerabilities by which we can gain the access. So, like, what is web application security? Basically, what do you mean by web application? Anyone? Hello? Hello? Am I audible, guys?
Yes, sir, you are audible, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so it's a very simple question. What is web application? Okay, so a very simple example, like you guys are currently on Google Meet. So that is a web application, a application which is running on web. Very simple meaning. Okay. So in VAPT, like we are widely doing web VAPT because look, we have like one thing like Android, iOS, so that have a different type of application. So for that type of VAPT, we are penetrating in .aab file. Okay, so that but in web VAPT, we are mainly targeting to the network because in that sometime we are, for example, in mobile application, so we are not only using the main network infrastructure, also we are using some Android inbuilt systems. Okay, so so that's why these VAPT are divided in different parts because the approach is completely different if you compare a web application to a normal PC application or mobile application. Okay, so the approach is completely different. For suppose if PC application is there, so your PC security is also there, integrated with that application. So for that PFPT, you need to break down to your PC or PC. That is what we have to break into the Android. Okay, but in web PFPT, it is pretty much easy as compared to both the PC app and the mobile app or Android or iOS because here everything is carried on the network. So by intercepting the network, we can we can perform many tasks or perform many kind of active or passive attacks. Okay, so like what is web application security? Web application security focus on protecting web application from cyber web threat. The increase in web-based service has made security a top priority for developers. Now, why web VAPT is very much important. Like I'm teaching VAPT, so the first case I have taken that is web VAPT. Why people are focusing on web VAPT? Nowadays, you can see that your financial transaction, your credentials, your personal and private data, somewhere everything is available on web. Okay, you are using Facebook mobile app, but the same data is also available on the www.facebook.com. Okay, which is a web application. You are using Google Pay, but you have internet banking, so there is a specific website for that bank to perform the transaction, money transaction. So the security for that is also important. Okay, so let's see see and understand the vulnerabilities which are available in web applications. So common web application vulnerabilities like SQL injection, cross-site scripting. Now I hope that all of you are aware what is SQL injection, what is cross-site scripting. Okay, so these vulnerabilities can lead to unauthorized access or data breaches. Okay, also if you will see the web application, so manipulating any communication is pretty much easy as compared to other applications like Android, iOS, or PC application itself. So in web application, cross-site scripting is suppose vulnerabilities is there, so any script reading can also perform this. Let's see what is SQL injection. I hope that all of you are already aware, but SQL injection allow attacker to manipulate database query through user input. The vulnerability can result in data leakage or complete system compromise. Okay, so in SQL injection, okay, so first tell me, is there anyone who don't know what is SQL injection? Or everyone is aware about, everyone of you are aware about SQL injection? हेलो, कोई यहाँ पे हो जिसको पता है कि एसक्यूएल इंजेक्शन, जिसको नहीं पता है कि एसक्यूएल इंजेक्शन क्या होता है?
Retrieving data from SQL database using malicious SQL codes.
ओके, सो आई होप दैट सबको पता है क्या होता है. But SQL injection, like if you ask for me, I will say it is a kind of hit and try injection method. Okay, suppose that you are on a client side of a website, so you don't know how the database is configured. By scanning, you can find that okay, this is a SQL database, but then also what a query have been written in backend, you are not able to see that query. So that's why SQL injections sometimes is not to. They will with that random query is the data dump, and from that data dump analysis, they will able to find the real query, that what query can be executed by your DB, by your database. Okay, so that SQL injection is like harmful, or it is always in OS top 10, because in this your website is telling that by some data dump, your website is telling that what kind of query can be uh, you can say executed by the data DBMS. Okay, so this is the like a very harmful vulnerability of website. Then we have cross-site scripting. In cross-site scripting, we basically like give some malicious script in URL. Okay, so cross-site scripting enables attacker to inject malicious script into web page viewed by user that can lead to session hijack or the distribution of malware. Now, the main, you can say the main agenda behind of attacker in cross-site scripting, it is not like you want to harm the main database or main admin. It want to, you can say that it it want other user to be tricked by that script. Okay, using so using content security policy and scraping output can reduce cross-site scripting risks. So in practical, we will see more about this. Then we have cross-site request forgery. So CSRF tricks user into executing unwanted action on authenticated session, which could result in unauthorized transaction or data change. So these are the vulnerabilities. Then insecure direct object reference, IDOR. So nowadays we are in security, we are not finding this vulnerability, but on the peak time, this was the attack for every security persons. So IDOR occur when user manipulate URL to access unauthorized data. So why I said this is the headache for every security person, because in this attack, attacker is not using any tool. It is directly manipulating the URL. Okay. So this vulnerability can expose sensitive. Implementing proper access control and validation checks is essential. So in web development, you have heard about the DOM. Okay. So suppose like how that IDA work. Your website name is suppose at xyz.com. Now, as an user, when you log in, you will go to xyz.com slash user hyphen login, something like this. How the directory is mentioned. And is equal to 1 or is equal to true, it means you have logged in. Okay. But sometime if proper validation is not there and somehow you manage to find the directory name of for which is available for admin, so you can directly manipulate the URL by admin. Suppose that it is named as admin. So by the URL manipulation, you can perform this IDOT. So nowadays we have like we have different security mechanism. Also, the language have improved. The backend language has improved very well. So that's why this vulnerability is not have found. Then security misconfiguration. This is very common. Security misconfiguration is a common issue in your application. Default setting or incompleted setup can leave system vulnerable. Regular party time the security best practice are necessary. Now, what is security misconfiguration? Very basic and simple example. When you are creating an application, you are making a directory for this tool. I am explaining very simple word. So that is a misconfiguration. If you put all the APIs on a single directory or on same directory, then attacker can use different kind of tool to navigate in your directory and can access any other API. And we have different API testing and API manipulating tools. With that tools, we are not opening the website, but by the API call, we can call for any data or we can do any transaction. So that is a security misconfiguration. Also, sometimes we are not creating proper validation, proper access control policies. So these are the security misconfiguration. The best practices follow the proper like secure coding in practice and proper web application. Then sensitive data exposure. So sensitive data exposure can happen when application do not properly encrypt data. This can lead to identify theft and financial loss for user. Using HTTPS and strong encryption method can protect sensitive information. Like you can say that cryptography failure. Nowadays also it is in OS top 10. Okay, so in previous classes could have explained about OS top 10. Hello.
Yes, sir.
OS top 10 के बारे में मैंने पहले एक्सप्लेन कर रखा है क्या?
नहीं सर.
No, sir.
ओके तो अभी उसके वेबसाइट पे जाके अपन उसको भी देख सकते हैं. Today I am like moving little bit fast because today I want to do some practical. So अभी इस पे थोड़ा ध्यान दो आप लोग. ऐसा नहीं है कि आप लोग मैं स्पीड में जा रहा हूँ तो आप लोग कोई डाउट है तो आप लोग छोड़ दीजिए. कोई डाउट हो तो मुझसे वही पूछ. Okay, so is there anyone who has joined with their mobile phone? Okay, there are some people. If you can, if you guys are able to join with your laptop, so please do it because in practical today I want that you also do some practical practice with me. Then, like in cryptography failure, the best example of sensitive data exposure in this kind of vulnerability. Like the attacker is doing nothing, he is just following your transaction or for your communication, and by any chance, for example, on a very basic example, for you have implemented MD5 for your password session. So it is very easy to decode MD5. In fact, we have word list, or we can say that we have a list in which we have a ciphertext and their original text. And if you are using a common password, so that is very easy for any attacker to find. Please use a good and like trusted encryption method. Then authentication and session management. Authentication failure is also, I think, looking of OS topic. Now, session management and authentication, like we have different kind of attack related to session, like session hijacking. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Like session hijacking, session is we have MITM attack, and then we have different kind of attack. So session management is very important. And what the main fault we are finding in nowadays system, that the not a proper configuration for session termination. Okay, we have lots of websites like nowadays. If you will go in deep, so you will find some of the very good website, like very valued website. So they have also a system that their session is for a fixed time. Suppose the time stamp is like the first communication will be for 30 minutes. Then it is not like it will go for a lead of 10 minutes or 5 minutes. It will again repeat the same thing, that 30 minutes. So when it comes to leads, so leads must be for a very few time, because after that the session will be terminated. So that type of configuration is not a good practice. And authentication, that is like authentication failure, it is mainly because of bad we can say that bad coding practice. Also here sometime for specific these two, sometimes the problem is from the client side. Client are using very common password, like if you will ask 10 people about their password, so you will find that minimum 2 or 3 have the password is like their name at their mobile number 4 digit. Okay, we have like we are 738 people that we are here. So I can bet that minimum 50% of you have created the password like this. Your name at your mobile number. Is it right or not? Then on like very common basis 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 QWER FTSA. If you are working on any project, so for login admin and for password admin at the rate 1, 2, 3, so these are not a good practice. Then we have logging and monitoring. Effective logging and monitoring can help to detect and respond to security incidents. So here we have some practice of how to secure it. Logging and monitoring means collecting logs and always do an analysis on that log. So for performing this, we have different tools. Effective logging and monitoring that can help to detect and respond to a security incident. It is important to log critical event and review logs regularly. Automated monitoring tool can provide a real-time alert for suspicious activity. Now, what is secure software development life cycle? This is not like very important for you guys. Like you are in cycle. This is a part related to web development. Hello. Hello. My audible?
Yes, sir. No, sir.
Yep.
सर आपकी आवाज नहीं आ रही है सर प्रॉपर, ना पीछे से भी बैकग्राउंड नॉइस भी आ रही है और आपकी आवाज ब्रेक हो रही है काफी।
Just give me a second. तो अभी कुछ ठीक है? एक्चुअली आज उड़ीसा का वेदर थोड़ा सा जिस इलाके में मैं हूँ अच्छा नहीं है, सो मे बी वो प्रॉब्लम हो रहा होगा। अभी ठीक है ना गाइस?
Yes, sir.
So secured of software development life cycle. For like for freelancing by hello. Hello.
यस सर।
हेलो, अभी क्लियर है?
यस सर।
ओके,
हाँ सर फर्क है, सही है।
तो like penetration testing, like web VPT is also a part of web penetration testing, and the steps are very simple. Like we are starting from recognition, and threat modeling, vulnerability analysis, exploitation, post exploitation, and reporting. I already explained about each step, but then once again, information gathering. We are gathering all the open source information as well as performing the scanning part. Then threat modeling. We are you can say that prioritizing and classifying all the threats. Then we are going for vulnerability assessment. Now we are finding for vulnerability. In that also we are performing some active scanning as well as passive scanning. After that vulnerability finding, like we are creating our you can say that our payload, or if any necessary things we need to do, then we are deploying this in exploitation part. In post exploitation, we are deleting our footprints and we are cleaning the path. And also in post exploitation, we are trying for privilege exploration, and we are keeping some of backdoor for us. After all this, we need to create a complete report and hand over it to the authority. So that is basically penetration testing part. Now we have different security frameworks and standards. We need to follow that. In starting, I have already explained about the framework, like we have HIPAA and OAuth. So these are the basic things, security headers and all. So in practical, we will try to see this. Okay, nothing to do with this slide. Let's come to practical part. Let's see how web VFPT we are going to. So first, like the tool we are going to use is Burpsuit. Okay. So for Burpsuit, we have basically the website like codeswigger.net, and here we have the main the Burps, and we have three versions. Okay, the first one is Burpsuit DSC, that is the enterprise-enabled dynamic web application vulnerability scanner, then Burpsuit Professional and Burpsuit Community Edition. These two are paid, this one is free. Okay. So in industry, basically we are using these two, but for practice, we are going to use this. So you can just download and install this. Like you need to enter your email ID and download, or you can go for a straight download. Yeah. So here you can select your configuration, like what system you are going to use. And by clicking download button, the download will be installed. I have already installed. So the best part is you can use this in Windows. Okay, so for practice, no need to do all this. Just next, start purchase. Now this is the main dashboard of purchase. Okay, so I request that those who are using their laptop, please install and try to do the same thing with me. Okay. So we have different things here, like the first thing that bulb. So the basic settings are there. Then we have project. So if we want to save anything, so we can do this from here. Then intruder. Okay, repeater. So we will see all this. Here we have the target and the proxy. So now how Burpsuit work? Okay, let's see how Burpsuit work. I think I need to go to the theory again. So suppose we have a client here. This is a client system. Okay. And we have a server here. This is our server. Now, whenever the communication will be from client to server, so client will send a request. Okay. And server will give the response. The basic architecture is like this only, right or not? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Or if we can go for any client server architecture email, so we can see that properly. Hmm. So in this image, as you can see that uh, so this is our server, internet and clients. Clients may be PC, workstation, or laptop, anything. Okay. So like how the communication will happen. So client will send a request over the internet to the server. Then server will send a reply. We have networking protocols to carry that packets of response, like request and response. So the request from client, then respond for from server. Sometimes it happens vice versa. Case if server need any information for client, so he will also send some like request packet to the client. Now, what Burpsuit will do? Guys, is there any option in system to take a pen here? Do you know anything? I don't think that there is any option. Okay, let's see. I'm copying this. Okay. So what our Burpsuit, suppose that we are using this client. Okay, we are using this client. So our Burpsuit will work as a proxy here. This is our Burp. Now, proxy means what? So it will create a proxy pretending that this is the client. Now, when the server will send, like the client will send any request, so Burpsuit will intercept. There is a button of interception. Burpsuit will intercept. Intercept means the Burpsuit will keep that request with like in their dashboard. Now you can see that what the request is. Okay. Now when and now if you want to forward that, so there is a button of forward. So your Burpsuit will forward that request to the server. Now the reply or the response from server, so that will also intercepted in Burpsuit, and you can analyze this. Okay. So what is the main profit of using this? Suppose that a very simple and basic example. You have a login key. You have your ID and password. So you have created a validation of like validation for password field that no more than 8 or 10 characters are allowed. Okay. Or you are avoiding that no any special character is allowed with password for for prevention of SQL, because in SQL queries special character are important. But if that validation is only for the client side, so here the validation is in your system. Okay, but on Pursuit you don't have any validation. So if validation is available in the front end part, then also you are able to bypass that validation by your Pursuit. So this is an example. We have all different use case. So let's see all the use case. Okay. So here we have proxy button. Now how to do the setup? So in proxy, okay. Target. You can directly open a browser from here. Okay, or here in proxy setting, you can add your proxy here. Okay, so the port number and the addresses you can provide here. So and you have to configure your browser. So you need to configure your browser, and there is one extension proxy for performing this thing. So for now I am using this browser only. So here is a website. This website is basically for tracking. Now why this is working properly? Because I didn't on interceptor. As you can see that all the request histories are available here. Okay. If I will turn on the intercept, so here this will intercept the this is going. As you can see that the first thing yes. Okay, so this is basically a website for testing. So we have lots of vulnerability in this website. Now let's go for finding the so as you can see that our request. So what the request we have the post the post request is there. So this website is on buffering only. The website is waiting for the response. So how the response will come? If I will forward this, so as you can see that here we got the search for Vasudev. Okay, so let's go for something else. Here in analysis we can see that we have the post of search, then PHP text is equal to query, and here we have our text. So we can change the text from here. Okay, so if I will forward, so what we found that here is a vulnerability that this is not a proper validated. We can change this. Okay, so this validation is available here. All of you are getting or not?
Yes, sir.
Sir, I have a question.
Yes.
Sir, can we say that we are changing the parameters and it is also called the parameter tampering?
Yes. We are changing the parameters, right? We are here like to change for parameter. Actually, I never tried about the parameter, but we can try this.
Okay, sir.
Can you explain a little bit about parameter? Like I'm confused. What parameter? About what parameter you are talking?
Sir, I guess the parameters like credentials, login ID,
Yes,
and
yes. So
password.
that parameter.
Yes, sir.
So
Because sir,
if you are
you
talking
have entered the Vasudev and then you have changed the on the intercept section you have changed the Infotact and
the main
for
result came for Infotact. Okay. So yes, so that is yeah that is we have changed that parameter. So here we can say that we are changing the validation because that That is the input field that must be validated. Like whatever the user have given in this field, that must be that must be processed by your DBMS. So that is a kind of like you have changed you have bypassed the validation. Or if you are saying that is parameter, so yes, the parameter tempering is there. Also, we have different, like we have different like different different information about that the cache control, accept language, then origin, we have everything. Now we yeah, so this is if I want to manipulate, I just need to capture and I need to capture and manipulate. I can also drop everything. Yeah, where to query, drop all. So we can drop the queries here. Now, what is the main use of this? Suppose you have created a website and there is a login page. Okay, so you need to do a brute force attack, but the website is configured in such a way that only 5 strong passwords can be processed. After that, they will block. And if that validation is, just give me a second, guys. Yes, sorry guys, actually that was an important call. So where was I? Hello? Hello? Am I audible, guys?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Okay. So here the main profit is like in brute force kind of thing. If the validation is on the front end side, so we can directly bypass that validation. Also, we have different tabs. That intruder, repeater. Let's see what it. So let's capture that first. Now what I can do, I can from here, I can send this packet to intruder, repeater, sequencer, organizer. So let's go from repeater. So as you can see that our this packet came in repeater. So repeater means what? We can that you can say that we can find the response without the we can see the response here only. We don't need to go on browser. Suppose that we have changed the parameter from here. Send it. Okay, so here we got the main response. What response came from the server? So we can see the raw, the heads, and we have the render part also. Take some time. So we can see that like our browser is thinking like the communication is under process, but we are manipulating the main communication here. So this will also help to in your penetration testing that you are not directly hello. Are you getting this? Okay, so in repeater, we are not directly in involvement with the browser. We are rendering this from here. So this is a basic simple website. We have different vulnerability here. So let's see for any other. Okay. So send it to intruder. So the main function of repeater is like number of time you can change, and you don't need to go on your browser. You can directly find from here. Okay. And intruder. So in intruder you have different positions. Okay, so from here you can customize your payload. Suppose that you need to add this location. Okay. Then okay. So for example, take this one. So here we have different options. The sniper attack. This is basically using brute force. So sniper attack. The description is written. Insert each payload into each position one at a time using a single payload set. Okay. Then we have battering ram attack. Then simultaneously place the same payload into all positions using a single payload set. Then we have this fork attack. Then allocate a payload set to each position into the and iterate through each set in parallel. Then we have custom bomb. Allocate a payload set to each position and through the thread through all possible combination is set. Okay. So like for sniper. अच्छे से समझा रहे in sniper and a very simple set only. Hello, guys.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Sorry guys, आज थोड़ा नेटवर्क का कुछ ज्यादा ही इशू आ रहा है. So पर्प सूट आप लोग ने देखा, लाइक जो लास्ट मैंने टारगेट वाला बताया.
No, sir. Can you please repeat it?
Okay. Look, पर्प सूट have lot of things to do, so you guys can practice. Also, the best way to practice, try to create your own website and do practice on that, so that you can customize the vulnerability and find the proper, you can go get into that vulnerability, find the proper way to exploit that. It just takes so much time. I will try to take one more session on bulk suit only. In that session, I will try to perform some legitimate
Excuse
websites.
me, sir. Sir, in last meeting, you have told that you will be telling about the project. That it will be new project or we have to continue our older project.
Uh, Actually, okay, so I'm not sure, but I think you are like you guys will go with a new project. So
Yes, sir.
by next week we will explain about the project. Okay. Let's start on. Okay, so this thing is here we have this like vulnerability of SQL injection. I will try to explain in the next class. Today, just have a look on the include right here. In intruder, we have one thing of like we can add. Now this is a field for you can say that's for your main target. This is the target field. Now you can add a payload here. Okay. Now we have different options for payload. By default payload, then we have settings. So we will try to explore all in next session. So now what about this attack group? It track each and every payload by one. Okay. So directly we start that. This can request was this and we can see the hex and all. Now let's go to under and the response received like response and the length everything. So whatever payload was there, each and every payload has executed for us. Okay. So this is how this works. So in one more session I will cover like the decoder, compare everything. Till next session, try to do by your own. Okay. So any doubt in today's session?
Sir, I have some doubt, sir. Hello, sir. I'm audible, sir. So using a web shoot, we are easily insert any payload web security. Hello, sir. Hello. Hello, Infotact solution. Staff is there are. Hello. Hello, Infotact solution. Staff is there or not?